we need to understand that the Palestinians have a right to resist, but it has to be legitimate resistance. It just can't be wanton violence.
Well, this isn't a legitimate case of resistance, is it?
It is absolutely legitimate for the Palestinians to try to break the siege of Gaza.
No, I'm talking about October the 7th.
As I said, I'm not going to condemn the Palestinians for resisting. I'm not going to condemn the Palestinians for trying to break their siege on their territory.
I just want to be clear. October the 7th, You're saying you won't denounce that?
I denounce any violence against civilians. That is clear.
1,200 people died.
We denounce, very clear, Patricia, we denounce any violence and killing of civilians. What we don't denounce very clearly is legitimate act of resistance. And for the Palestinians to rise up on October the 7th and say, we're no longer going to tolerate this siege, this occupation, that's legitimate. Now, if they've done things that is against international law, then they should be held to account for that. I don't think we can be any clearer than that. But they have a right to resist. Do you
honestly, I don't mean to be rude and interrupt, but are you honestly saying that the October 7 event was the Palestinians rising up? It was a terror attack, wasn't it?
Well, that's the way it's been categorised. Let me make it very simple. If the October 7th attacks was, the Palestinians breaking through the fence and entering into Israel, and there were no civilians killed, but it was, for example, clashes with Israeli army soldiers or Israeli outposts, which actually did happen, then that would be, I don't think anyone would have an issue with that. Because that's legitimate.
No, the issue is that 1,200 people were slaughtered.
As I said, if the October 7th attacks led to the killing of civilians as opposed to military personnel,
but it did.
Civilians.
It's not contested. It did.
Well, yes, okay. I mean, we'll probably leave that because I think there are some people actually contesting exactly how many were killed and how they were killed. But in any case, clearly civilians were killed, and as a result, we're saying that people who've committed those actions should be held to account. But you can't condemn the Palestinians for actually legitimately resisting their occupation. I think that's a very fair position.
Thank you so much for joining us. Adel Salman is the president of the Islamic Council of Victoria, and you're listening to RN Breakfast.